Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. You've made it through your second week of learning at home. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work. I'm loving all the videos and the pictures and the updates that you're sending. I am amazed at all the things you're doing at home and all the fun ways that you're learning, even without me. And I love being able to share that through those videos and pictures. So thank you so much. All right, here are chapters 5 and 6, the last two chapters for this week. Oh, also, your job over the next 2 days, because they're days off from school. If you want to draw and write about something that happened in these chapters that in your books, that would be awesome. If you choose not to, that's okay too. If you just want to draw, that's great. If you just want to write, awesome. You take this time. Enjoy these two chapters, and if you want to write about them, great. And if you want to take the 2 days off, that's okay too. All right, chapter 5 is called Snow Tracks. Wow, what is this place? Said Jack. Maybe it's an art gallery, said Annie. I don't think so, said Jack. It's too hard to get to. He read about the cave paintings in his book. These Ice Age beasts were painted 25,000 years ago. Cro-Magnons painted pictures of animals they hunted. They may have believed these paintings would give them power over the animals. Wow! Look at this, said Annie. She pointed at the painting farther down the wall. It showed a figure with human arms and legs and reindeer antlers and an owl face. It seemed to be holding a flute. Jack looked at the book again and found a picture of that figure and read out loud. Cavemen may have been led by a sorcerer or a master of the animals. He may have worn reindeer antlers so he could run like a reindeer, and an owl mask so he could see like an owl. Take a look at those awesome cave drawings. I'm going to work on mine this weekend. See what new things I can add. What is it? Said Annie. The master of animals, said Jack. He's a sorcerer. Oh, wow, breathed Annie. That's it? That's what? That's who we have to find. Why? Maybe he's a friend of Morgan's, said Annie. Jack nodded slowly. Maybe you're right, he said. Let's go find him, said Annie. They went back through the tunnel into the first cave. We'd better put our lamps back, said Jack. He and Annie blew out their lamps. They placed them back by the fire. Jack's backpack was on the floor next to the skins. He put the Ice Age book into it. How's Peanut? Asked Annie. Jack looked in his backpack. Oh no, she's not here, he said. Oh no, cried Annie. She must have crawled out when we were looking at the paintings. Peanut, Jack called. Peanut, called Annie. Annie walked slowly around the cave looking into the shadows. Jack peeked around the fire and under each of the furry skins. Jack, come here, said Annie. She was standing near the entrance to the cave. The snow had stopped falling. In the snow were tiny tracks. Make a prediction. Whose tracks do you think these are? Chapter 6 is called Song on the Wind. I think they're Peanut's tracks. Were you right? Said Annie. We have to find her before she freezes. She wrapped her reindeer coat around her head, and headed across the snow. Jack pulled on his backpack and followed her. The mouse's tracks led between the fallen rocks and back onto the open plain. The wind blew harder. Snow swirled over the ground, covering the tiny footprints. I can't see them anymore, wailed Annie. She and Jack now stood in the middle of the plain. They stared at the wind-swept snow. The mouse's tracks had vanished. Yikes, whispered Annie, staring up. Jack followed her gaze. On one of the cliffs was a tiger, a giant tiger with two long, sharp fangs. If you've done some cave art, did you add a saber-toothed cat? I did. A saber-tooth, said Jack. "Aw, I hope he doesn't see us," whispered Annie. "Me too," whispered Jack back. "We'd better head back to the treehouse." Jack and Annie stepped very softly across the snow. Then Jack glanced back at the cliff. The saber-tooth was gone. "Oh, man," he said. "Where is he now?" "Run to the trees," said Annie. He and Annie started running. They ran over the snowy plain, heading towards the trail, to the tall, bare trees in the distance. Suddenly, Jack heard a crack. The ground caved in, and Jack went with it. Annie fell beside him. They crashed down onto a heap of branches, snow, and earth. They struggled to stand. Jack pushed his glasses into place. "Are you all right?" he asked Annie. "Uh-huh," she said. They both looked up. They were in a deep hole. All Jack could see were gray clouds moving overhead. "I think this is a trap," Jack said. "The Cro-Magnons must have put branches over this hole. Then the snow hid the branches, so we didn't see them." "I don't think there's any way out," said Annie. She was right. They were helpless. There was nothing they could do. The pit was too deep for them to climb out of. Close your eyes and think of a different plan. What could you do? What would you do? "I feel like a trapped animal," Annie said. "Me too," said Jack. He heard a yowl in the distance. "Oh no, the saber-tooth," whispered Annie. Jack pulled out the Ice Age book. He found a picture of the saber-tooth. He read out loud. The saber-tooth was the fiercest beast of the Ice Age. It attacked humans as well as woolly mammoths.